Rory McIlroy's sensational return has sent shockwaves through the golf world. The golf universe just received the announcement it had been eagerly anticipating all year. The back-to-back Masters champion is back in action. He's teeing it up at Quail Hollow. He's paired alongside Matt Fitzpatrick. He's hunting a record-breaking fifth triumph at the course he loves more than any other on the planet. The most authentic championship on the schedule has just landed its brightest star. The real excitement, however, isn't only about who is competing, it's about who isn't. And the explanation behind it will leave you stunned. The date was May 4, 2026, Quail Hollow Club in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Premier Championship was only days from starting, and the entire golf community had been waiting anxiously. Rory McIlroy had not played a single competitive round since sliding into his second straight green jacket at Augusta National. 3 complete weeks of complete quiet, 3 weeks of recovery, 3 weeks of watching from his living room while the PGA Tour's flagship events wore down everyone else. Scottie Scheffler competed at the RBC Heritage. He also played the Cadillac Championship. He failed to win either, ending as runner-up in both. He was drained. He decided to skip the Truist Championship completely, opting to rest ahead of the PGA Championship. Matt Fitzpatrick had claimed victory in 3 of his previous 4 tournaments. He was enjoying the best form of his career. Yet he too was worn out. He had withdrawn from the Cadillac Championship following his emotional win at the Zurich Classic alongside his brother Alex. Cameron Young had just dominated the Cadillac Championship from start to finish. He was riding high. He was also fatigued. Then the big news dropped. Welcome 6-time major winner Rory McIlroy to the Truist Championship. The tournament's official social media account shared the update. The golf world breathed a huge sigh of relief. McIlroy was not bypassing the Truist Championship. He was not stretching his break further. He was not copying Scottie Scheffler's decision to stay away. He was returning to his personal kingdom, the venue where he has secured more wins than anywhere else in his entire professional career. The PGA Tour's official communications page verified the information. The Truist Championship is back at its regular home, Quail Hollow Club in Charlotte. North Carolina is hosting the 6th of 8 signature events in the 2026 PGA Tour season. McIlroy was grouped with Matt Fitzpatrick for the opening 2 rounds, a dream pairing that got the entire golf community talking excitedly. 2 European Ryder Cup teammates, together responsible for 4 of the last 7 PGA Tour wins, the reigning back-to-back Masters champion and the player in the hottest form right now, all sharing the same fairways. There is now no obligation for players to join signature events, noted Ron Green Jr. in Global Golf Post. At this packed stage of the schedule, the Masters and RBC Heritage created 2 majors plus 3 signature events crammed into 6 weeks. Elite players are carefully choosing where to compete. That is exactly what the 2026 season has become. Scottie Scheffler selected the RBC Heritage and Cadillac Championship. He skipped the Truist Championship. Rory McIlroy skipped the RBC Heritage and Cadillac Championship. He picked the Truist Championship instead. The planet's top 2 golfers will still not face each other in any signature event between the Masters and PGA Championship, but at least one of them will be present at Quail Hollow, and for fans desperate for major star power, that is more than enough. To truly grasp why Rory McIlroy's comeback to the Truist Championship is so significant, you must know his incredible record at Quail Hollow Club. This is far more than just another stop on the PGA Tour. This is his absolute domain. 4 titles. That is the number of times McIlroy has lifted the trophy here, more than any other player in the tournament's history. His very first PGA Tour victory arrived here in 2010 at age 21, when he fired a stunning final run 62 to capture the Quail Hollow Championship. Phil Mickelson finished second that day. The golf world had officially found its next global superstar. In 2015, McIlroy came back to Quail Hollow and produced a performance that still stands as the course record, an 11 under 61 in the 3rd round of the Wells Fargo Championship. He won by a massive 7 shots. That winning margin remains the biggest ever in the event's history. The successes continued. In 2021, McIlroy ended an 18-month victory drought with a dramatic 1-shot win over Abraham Ancer at Quail Hollow. The raw emotion on the 18th green was unforgettable. The sense of relief was visible for all to see. Then in 2024 he did it once more. That 4th triumph at Quail Hollow came in the Wells Fargo Championship, just weeks before the PGA Championship was held on the same layout. He was tuning up for a major on a course where he had never tasted defeat. 4 wins across 16 years, a connection between a player and a golf course that has no equal in today's game. He could not have chosen a better venue to make his return. The PGA Tour's official site noted ahead of the Truist Championship that Quail Hollow Club is one of golf's finest architectural achievements. McIlroy has more PGA Tour titles at Quail Hollow 4 than at any other course. His debut win was the 2010 Quail Hollow Championship with Phil Mickelson in second. He followed it up in 2015, 2021, and 2024 when it was the Wells Fargo Championship. Now it is the Truist Championship in its 2nd season as a signature event. That brings a limited 72-player field, no cut, a $20 million prize fund and $3.6 million for the champion. And Rory McIlroy is back to reclaim his throne. The Truist championship field is incredibly strong. Cameron Young, coming off his wire-to-wire triumph at the Cadillac Championship, is competing. Xander Schauffele, the 2025 PGA Championship winner, is in the mix. Defending champion Sebastian Straka is aiming for back-to-back victories. 51 of the top 60 players in the world rankings made the journey to Charlotte, but one specific pairing had the entire golf world buzzing. One group that made fans stop everything and circle the dates. Rory McIlroy and Matt Fitzpatrick together for the first 2 rounds of the Truist Championship. Let me repeat that. The back-to-back Masters champion and the player in the absolute hottest form, the man who just claimed his second straight green jacket and the man who has won 3 of his last 4 starts. 2 Ryder Cup teammates from Europe, 2 major champions. 2 fierce competitors who had spent the past month trading wins on opposite sides of the Atlantic. The PGA Tour's official website described them as the combined winners of 4 of the last 7 events. Just do the numbers since mid-March. McIlroy and Fitzpatrick had taken 4 tournaments between them: the Players' Championship, the Masters, the RBC Heritage, and the Zurich Classic. Only Scottie Scheffler and Cameron Young had managed to break their dominance. And now, for the first time this season, they would walk the same fairways, battle on the same leaderboard, and directly challenge each other, something the fragmented 2026 schedule had made almost impossible. The golf world was electric with anticipation. The excitement wasn't only about star power, it was also about the brutal schedule that had kept these 2 apart for so long. 3 signature events in 4 weeks sitting between 2 majors. McIlroy had missed 2, Fitzpatrick had missed 1. They had faced each other only once since the Masters at the RBC Heritage, where Fitzpatrick won and McIlroy wasn't even playing. The Truist Championship was different. McIlroy had returned. Fitzpatrick was in peak form. And the golf world was about to see something that had become rare in this age of careful load management and schedule planning. The 2 best players in the world, not named Scottie Scheffler, going head-to-head. The early headlines claimed Rory McIlroy was skipping the Truist Championship. Those headlines were completely wrong. When the world number 2 stood in front of the microphones at Quail Hollow on Tuesday, he explained exactly why he was there. Not to rest, not to hide, but to build momentum. "I feel like if anything I'm more motivated after what happened at Augusta this year than I've ever been," McIlroy told the media, his voice calm and eyes sharp. Let me repeat that: more motivated than ever before. After 6 majors, after completing the career Grand Slam, after back-to-back Masters wins, after everything he has already achieved, Rory McIlroy is hungrier than at any point in his career. The statement was shocking, yet perfectly in line with a player who has spent his whole life proving doubters wrong. Critics claimed he would never win another major after his 2014 PGA Championship. He won the 2025 Masters. They said he could never complete the career Grand Slam. He did it. They said he couldn't defend his first green jacket. He did exactly that, becoming only the 4th player in history to win consecutive Masters, joining Jack Nicklaus, Nick Faldo, and Tiger Woods. Now he is back at Quail Hollow, the course where he claimed his first PGA Tour title in 2010 at age 21 with a final run 62 that introduced him to the world. The course where he set the record 61, 11 under in 2015. The course where he snapped an 18-month winless streak in 2021. The course where he collected his 4th title in 2024, shortly before the PGA Championship was staged there. 4 victories at Quail Hollow. Almost 30% of his starts at this venue have ended in victory. When asked why, McIlroy's answer is straightforward: "I've had success here and it's a place I always love returning to." The Truist Championship is the 6th signature event of the 2026 PGA Tour season. It features a $20 million purse and 700 FedEx Cup points for the winner. The field includes 51 of the top 60 players in the world rankings. Cameron Young, fresh off his wire-to-wire Cadillac win, Xander Schauffele, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Sebastian Straka are all hunting the trophy. But the clear favorite, according to every betting market and expert, is the man who has turned Quail Hollow into his personal playground. Rory McIlroy has won nearly 30% of his starts at Quail Hollow and gains 2.58 strokes per round here. Yahoo Sports noted this is easily the best mark of anyone with at least 5 rounds in Charlotte. The numbers back up what fans have witnessed for 16 years. McIlroy and Quail Hollow are a perfect match made in golf heaven. The long, tough layout rewards power off the tee. The famous closing stretch, holes 16-18, known as the Green Mile, challenges every part of a player's game. McIlroy, the longest and most complete driver of his generation, has no rival on this property. Driving distance is the foundation, but he also masters the strategy and details of the course like no one else, the previews highlighted. And then came the moment that changed everything. The Masters, the pivotal point where McIlroy could have let his historic win slip. "I think the range session on Saturday night was a big turning point for me," McIlroy revealed. "Let me repeat that, not a miracle shot, not a lucky break. A simple practice session on the range at Augusta with his caddy Harry Diamond, working through problems from his third-round 73. Using an old-school method with no TrackMan or video, just pure feel and trust in his instincts. He carried that feel into Sunday. Reflecting later, he admitted he made a double on 4, but from the 5th tee to the second shot on 17, he didn't miss a single shot. 13 holes of pure perfection at Augusta National, the kind of golf that defines true champions. And now that champion has returned to Quail Hollow, the kingdom is ready for its king. The course that has delivered him 4 trophies is prepared for a 5th. The fans who watched him grow from a 21-year-old sensation to a 37-year-old legend are ready to roar. The Truist Championship will name its champion on Sunday. The trophy will be awarded. The $3.6 million winner's check will be presented. But the true story this week isn't about money. It is about the man who has spent 16 years showing that certain courses are not just places to play golf. They are places where he truly belongs. For Rory McIlroy, Quail Hollow is home, and he is back where he belongs. The headlines got it wrong. Rory McIlroy did not skip the Truist Championship. He returned to his kingdom at Quail Hollow, the course where he has won 4 times, more than anywhere else in his career. The back-to-back Masters champion is more motivated than ever, playing for the first time since slipping into his second straight green jacket. He is paired with Matt Fitzpatrick, the hottest player on the planet. He is chasing a 5th victory at the course that has shaped his legacy. The $20 million purse is at stake. The $3.6 million winner's check is waiting. But for Rory McIlroy, this week means something far bigger than money. It is about history, it is about home, and it is about proving that the greatest player of his generation is nowhere near finished. Do you believe Rory McIlroy can capture a 5th title at Quail Hollow this week? Or will the 3-week break leave him rusty? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want the real stories behind every victory, every comeback, and every golf legend, hit that subscribe button, because Rory's story is far from over.